Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together. Absolutely.
All right, so I just wanted to point out really quickly, just sort of that I've been thinking about it, and like the whole
Bacchanalian,
God thing. I'm like, occasionally Lies seems to use these real specific like Grecian references, like the whole sword of Damocles and things like that. And I'm just like, I would like to know where that comes from. Like, did they study mythology? Just they pick it up really hard at school and use it sometimes in conversation? It's just
the sword of Damocles is hanging over my head.
Anyway, it sounds interesting.
Yes.
And I was kind of thinking about it and wondering if they were just thrown in there for flavor or if it's actually a piece of character.
Which would be a good thing to distinguish, actually. Now, let us resume the social amusements and jocularities. Lie, Scandal, we will speak, yes?
We should, but I'm suddenly distracted by the fact that it looks like you have one nostril. Forgive me. Hamza leads me off away from the chattering crowd. Presumably not to eat me, or yell at me, or engage in an orgy, which is what you just suggested. Or anything like that.
I'm also very entertained as why Lies would assume that.
I don't know.
Bacchanalian is incredibly specific, and I'm going like, do you think that he is a sexy boy?
Yes, we're going, oh god, he's foreign and hot as shit.
Did you literally just exotify Hamza yourself?
I think Lies did.
Oh dear.
I make it a point to get to know all who attend my gatherings. Clearly, I have been remiss, as I allowed one who works with the hated Deco Nami to enter. Hamza would like to know you better, my friend. Not that Hamza assumes you to be a spy, of course. It is simply a matter of what is proper and right.
Like, are they trying to have him, like, have a little bit of pigeon in the way he speaks on purpose, or... It feels a little odd.
It does feel a little odd. Okay. That's why I'm actually kind of like...
Why doesn't he just say I? Like, maybe he is just being really performative. Maybe it's fun for him.
It could be, and he could be literally playing
Trolling
off of
you.
That's why I was like...
You expected to be like this, and I would troll the hell out of you.
Yes, which would be very aware, but I would like to know that.
But it would be really helpful for us to get it. Yeah. I'm just a floor attendant for the Funplex, not much else to say.
Come now. Surely there's more to you than that. Share with Hamza. Consider me an impartial third party. Surely there are matters that occupy your mind which would be inappropriate to air to your business partners?
If you're suggesting that by being employed there, these are all my business partners, you might think that I have a more important job than I do. This guy is clearly on a fishing expedition for dirt, I think. Considering the high count of arcade royalty, I'm supping with, High Court, of arcade royalty. Maybe it's best not to give him anything. But I also don't want to make relations difficult for the Funplex if this guy really is a leading supplier of cheap arcade games. He sounds like a side quest in a role-playing game.
Kinda
so
does.
hard. Like one of those characters that you're like, I don't know how this is going to go, but if it goes badly, we're going to have pissed off a god, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'm secretly the royal heir of a distant land. Honestly, I've had a long run of bad luck. Just a hired muscle for moving games around. You know what? I don't even know. Like, I keep running into things where I feel like I don't know your personality there yet. Because I feel like just hired muscle is sort of basically like, let me just blanch away. And then let's be playful. But I don't feel like I feel like, honestly, every time I get, like, the little happy face, it always feels in my head like Liza's being a little bit sarcastic.
Yeah.
Rather than just playful. So, honestly, I've had a long run of bad luck. Because I think just being truthful. I won't bore you with the whole story, but the too long didn't read is, and I only learned that TLDR meant too long didn't read this year. I always just read it tilde and just went forward, whatever that. I was like, whatever, tilde is the summary.
Oh, was that when you asked me when I was watching Sarah Zed videos? You were like, what's the TLDR thing mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I finally just was like, you know what? I've always been reading as tilde, and so I just wondered what it was finally. Is that my family's had a curse of foul luck for quite a few years. Moving from city to city, job to job. After I left home, I couldn't find stable work, not until the Funplex. I guess, if 2 weeks is stable work.
Yeah, that's what the I guess is for. Right?
And lately, I don't know, I'm starting to wonder if I've made the right choice. I love the arcade, but love doesn't pay the bills.
Hamza agrees.
Ah, yes. I see the dilemma you face. I have seen it many times before. In fact, including firsthand.
He's also had to choose money versus, passion, what have you.
It's also interesting because now you have suddenly stopped calling yourself Hamza.
Again,
Is it just an act?
if it's an act, he might drop it if you're real straight with him. That would be an interesting character piece, you know?
Yes. Yes, I have known hardship. We all have, in the course of events. You are not alone in that condition, lies Scandal.
Hamza
didn't
began
think I was.
as a mere urban explorer and hunter of rare objects for a wealthy buyer in Dubai.
Okay.
You see, many debts pursued me. And in return for assistance in paying them, I stocked the arcade of his dreams. In time, my patron released me entirely from the woes of debt.
And I got really, really good at what he was having me do for him.
Yes.
They were difficult years, productive years to be certain. And throughout them, Hamza learned how to use the mystique of being Hamza to better achieve his goals.
It is an act. Part of it he's doing on purpose, of going, I can use this and exaggerate it to get where I want to get.
I hope so.
That's what that's.
I mean,
I would like to interpret that way.
I would too, but again, I'm like, until like part of the reason, you guys, I'm a little bit reluctant is that I am still concerned about the level of like we're going. Well, no, it is just an act, but I'm still using the pigeon pretty aggressively.
A little bit, yeah.
And I don't know what to do with that. And I understand that stuff is messy sometimes, and sometimes you can have somebody make that. Now, I don't know. I feel like it could be a little bit more of a complex conversation, though. But that's me.
Now I stand before you with power, and with hard-earned respect for that power. I leverage it to ensure that those who respect games as I do can enjoy them, even if they lack coin.
Well, that's nice.
I mean, I'm
On the other hand, it's weird that
glad.
our Gavin doesn't understand that. Because when they were all explaining it in the car, they're like, he just does weird shit sometimes and trades things for whatever. Not like he helps people when they can't afford it.
But again, he's probably got an obnoxious amount of money / people believe he does. So he has a lot of social clout in that way where sometimes you go, why is this person still popular? And going like, well, because everybody goes, well, you're in this group regardless of how much money you do or don't have because you have so many connections, you know how to talk to people. Like,
He has made himself into a mythic figure that has that people are socially aware of, and that's where he stands.
And it has, however, given him a position that it is true. He is not all men are created equal, and Hamza has created himself into something very specific.
Something in a certain echelon with certain privileges.
Yep,
But
and he
yes,
has privileges.
I have known hardship. We all have in the course of events. You are not alone in that condition, my friend.
Why did you say that again? You already told us. Or...
I think it's just trying to push that home, going, I have been there.
And other people have been there. So you can describe it, but you're not alone. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, how do I get out of that condition? Do I need to indebt myself to a wealthy prince or something, too?
Do I need to work really hard until I, air quote, deserve it?
And
Like,
that's
there
the
is
thing
some
that
kind
bothers
of thing
me,
going-
is there feels like there is a narrative of you work hard, and then eventually you get out. And the thing is it doesn't always work that way at all.
Like,
The thing is like there were situations where being on like being in a family that was on public health care, there were times where you'd get a bill in the mail that was $150,000, but it was all paid by the government health insurance. But if you didn't have that insurance because you didn't fill out your forms properly, because you didn't, qualify for it financially, paying off a $100,000 medical bill with potentially, as my mom had, a persistent condition, you'd never be able to do it.
Or of the fact of, for some people, they literally go, hi, I made $5 too many this month, or $5 too much this year. I lose everything.
And I can't have any help or support anymore, and since I don't have that help or support anymore, everything I've been budgeting on crashes to the ground. And
It just makes me really sad.
Yeah, a lot of it, I don't like the glorification of hard work. People don't deserve things because you merit their work one way or another, or not deserve things because you don't. Because the thing is almost everything can be hard work. It shouldn't only be valuable if someone who has money recognizes it that way. In the way that, like, thinking can be hard work, writing can be hard work, playing video games can be hard work, coping and surviving in the family you are in can be hard work.
Yeah.
Not all hard work is profitable. If someone is trying to be a child and get through that experience to becoming an adult, that can be extremely hard work, and no one pays for that. As well as being an adult raising a child can be extremely hard work, and no one's paying you for that.
Nope.
Like,
Oddly enough.
part of the reason why we were all such, like for most of the kids that I knew were so frustrated, unhappy, and disenfranchised was because their parents couldn't handle things. And it wasn't, they're out squandering their money. It's they're so stressed and don't know what to do. They're trying to cope enough to be able to be reasonably functional.
And as we've actually discussed in other playthroughs as well, we have noted where it is true that if you are poor, you are more likely also to make poor decisions because you don't have money. You are more likely to basically be inflicted with what is called FOMO, fear of missing out. You're more likely to basically participate in impulse buying and also just not asking questions or looking for more options because you don't have the time or the money to do so.
And sometimes just not the emotional energy. Anyway, I don't like the glorification of hard work, but I appreciate that she's trying to encourage us.
No. You will need the will to dream and the will to work.
And so if you work hard enough, the arcade will just recover, I guess.
The will to make the trade-offs that will bring you closer to your ambitions.
And it's always about trade-offs and sacrifices, which I don't like either, because there are plenty of people that have gotten from really unfortunate places to really nice places without really making a sacrifice. There's a lot of people that have actually, just had a mysterious great thing, shift happen in their life, and suddenly they're comfortable.
There are also plenty of people who are in wealthy situations where that they don't have to make any fucking trade-offs at all to astronomically blow up their worth.
Not a lot of emotional
slightest.
trade-offs,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
or
Not a
even
lot of sacrifices.
Yeah,
Now, they might be making heavy decisions. They might be really stressed out in their lives. They might have as much confusion as other people, but they at least don't have fear of not having a place to live.
Right? That is a very different experience. Damn.
Francine was mentioning something about that earlier.
Wisdom and beauty. That is Francine.
I'm trying not to make trade-offs, though. Not to settle. My parents, they gave up on so much just to barely scrape by.
That is actually a real fucking...
I've seen a lot of people do it, okay? When you're surrounded by a lot of poor people, there really is this experience of going, I have scrimped and I have settled and I have whatever. And there's also this weird glorification that even when I was a kid, I thought was really weird, where somebody who'd been successful would come on TV and be like, I would have never gotten here if it wasn't for my mom working 3 jobs and never being home and not being able to talk to me and sacrificing all of her dreams and never being the woman she would have wanted to be or having anything she ever wanted and always being exhausted. And God, I love her for it because now I'm famous and important. And it's like, that should not be
everything.
That should not be an acceptable trade-off. And going, and now I'll take care of her. But also, if she didn't have the healthcare and support she needed at that time, this narrative is getting really, really anxious for me. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. All right.
That is the puzzle, is it not? What to trade? Allow me to regale you with a story.
Aloud, Hamza makes a sweeping gesture to the beautiful ruin of the Donnawood mansion, and to an oil painting hanging on the wall. It's actually there.
Hey,
look at that.
At one time, Donna Michaels was a star on the rise. She had all she could ever desire, and indulged in her desires all day long. But so indulgent was she that she failed to maintain the work that brought her there, and her second album didn't meet expectations. She lost interest. For years she lurked in these walls as a recluse, playing games for hours and hours. Rumor has it that she was found dead within her beloved arcade, hand still wrapped around a glowing joystick. She starved to death, lost in a game.
Whoa.
That's dark.
On the other hand, that is a deep amount of depression. She lost interest in life. Kind of, yeah, but also having this experience of going that she failed to work. This sounds like a hard work narrative. Hard work doesn't fix everything. It doesn't even always help. You have to have effective work. Work smarter, not harder, which is an annoying platitude that pisses me off. But there is this experience of going, well, if you've worked smart, you've worked hard. But people can haul buckets of dirt all day and work incredibly back-breakingly hard and, not get paid for it.
Especially in regards
is
to the
it
amount of
doesn't
damage
matter.
That sometimes occurs when people do that.
It doesn't matter if you work hard. It only matters if someone's willing to pay you for that work.
Yeah.
Because you literally could be out in the woods, hand building a giant-ass beautiful cabin, working 9 hours a day on your passion project. And if 1, no one pays you for it, that hard work doesn't matter. And 2, if when you're done with it, no one wants that cabin because of location or because of whatever it is, you made no money. So hard work inherently does not solve your problems. I'd say that's ridiculous, but I've seen Percy play for hours and hours at a time.
And now her lost and aimless spirit haunts this very place.
And when it's torn down, that'll be way better.
Adrift as a ghost in the machine.
Oh dear. Now we're into Ghost in the Machine. We're in the Ghost in the Shell narrative.
Oh boy.
Too spoopy for me, man. I said spoopy.
I'm also kind of that gag would only work in one, the character's head, if you said this out loud, and two, because we're looking at it.
I say,
Can you imagine somebody saying,
fingers?
too spoopy for me? Too spoopy for me, sir.
For me, man. Like, unless you know that meme, but apparently he knows the meme.
Mm-hmm. Too spoopy indeed. And obviously a grim fairy tale, rather than reality. But I feel there is an important truth buried in the myth.
I'm glad that didn't actually happen.
I ask you, was Donna's life spiritually satisfying? She didn't need to make more albums. She wanted for nothing, and had everything. So what you're telling me is that she was so socially disconnected, and she was depressed, that still, but you should feel bad for her in relation to the fact that she had a ton of money, and she could do whatever she wanted. She could choose to starve over her machine without her house being threatened to be...
That's a myth, though.
Fucking hell!
If you just tell us a parable, we don't know what actually happened, and so it's harder to take things away from it for me.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm like, it reminds me, like, she sounds like she was isolated nonetheless, because that's how estates fall into disrepair, and that kind of thing, and the way legends become obscure. And it sounds like Judy Garland going, if I'm so famous, why am I so lonely?
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's like, there are a lot of people that most of the world knows who are, and they don't have any friends.
They really don't.
Anyway.
You could say she died doing what she loved, playing games.
But, okay, but she still died, not getting around that.
Hamza agrees.
Precisely. So many years thrown away, refusing the world around her in favor of a dream.
Are you shitting on dreams?
Aye. A dream is a lovely thing, Lyskendel, but you must balance a dream in one hand and the world in the other, at all times.
Okay.
But also, your society plays into that. A lot, actually, too.
And the thing is like balancing a dream versus the world, you can say it's a dream versus reality, but it also depends on the amount of power and awareness you have. Like, say, for instance, a user. If in this world, out here outside of the game, you are a minority, which depending on where you live, you would be, I was going to say, then you will not have as many privileges as someone who is not considered to be a minority. As well as there's different, there's so many, like, factors.
There's so many layers to this.
There's so many layers that determine what you can and can't do. And a lot of them, just coming from the background I came from, have to do with what kind of education you have. You're often literally unaware of the ability to make other choices. Sometimes I get frustrated with these kind of games when they only give one or two choices, and this one's been so much better than many of the other ones we've played, because it really is going, I have been that person that could think of nothing else to do and had no one else to ask, and when I did ask, I got told, figure it out by yourself, and I didn't have the resources to do it. I have been that person so many times in my life going, I can't think of it. Well, if you just try hard enough, you'll get there, honey, and going, no, I will fail, I will hurt, I will suffer, I will get set back. Yeah, and then you'll learn. How is that fair or appropriate?
Oh, you might have lost a hand, but you figured it out. Like, that's what I feel like that conversation
I've heard that in manufacturing before.
Oh, God,
once they lose a finger, they'll know. I'm like, that is an unacceptable payment.
That is inappropriate.
Just tell them.
Yes.
It is not appropriate to burn the person to teach them about heat. Just tell them.
Also, like, such a fucking, like, shitty dude behavior. I'm sorry. It's fine.
Anyway, here we go, Hamza.
Naomi, she clings to her dream. Gavin, he clings to the world. Neither of them are truly happy as a result.
And what of you, Sage?
Lyskendel, do you seek to be truly happy?
Well, duh. What else was I going to answer except yes? Like, no, I hate happiness. It's just, not my flavor. Oh,
but Hamza pressed a finger to my lips to silence me. Shit.
But Hamza pressed a finger to my lips, not his own lips, to silence me.
Shh. Hold that thought. The auction is about to begin.
He claps again. Hamza claps twice, calling the room to attention.
Greetings, friends.
Friends, let us proceed to the arcade below. We have many games to bid on, all of which must be out the door by morning.
This is wild.
As always, I will accept alternate bids, but test not the patience of Hamza if your bid is not a serious offer. The hours grow short. Any titles which find no takers will go to my own collection, but my hope is to find a happy home for every machine, one which will love and respect these games.
He motions for me in particular to follow as the group files downstairs. You are my favorites of the night. Come with me.
Come here.
I
love you.
Okay.
And moi.
Look at that. They look great.
This way.
A bunch of folding chairs. Oh, okay. Those folding chairs are for the auction. That makes way more sense. Thank you. Thank you, game, for pulling that around. I have a little more faith in you.
Okay.
Have been set up in front of a large HD TV. One of Ham's assistants loads up a photo slideshow of the games on offer, and the group settles in. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Thank God.
Wow.
Hey, shouldn't Francine be here for this? It's technically her money. She trusts the two of us to make the right decisions on purchasing games. Plus, I'd hate to interrupt her nap, or her knitting, or both. I swear she can knit in her sleep.
Oh, I'm just too nervous. I think I'm gonna go browse the games again, see if there are any I missed. It's so dark down here, I swear I didn't see them all. And you know what? We're going to have to see more of them in the next one. So thank you very much, guys, though, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!